And time for us to jump into one of those age-old questions of all the organisations, of all the industries out there, who are the most infuriating and unreliable to work with? Well, one organisation that has taken on that mantle with some aplomb in recent years, with an annual survey looking at who is the most reliable, who are the most unreliable, and really getting the temperature of citizens here in the region is, of course, Insight Discovery. Their latest report and survey has dropped. It's not pleased everybody out there at the moment, but one man to work through the findings is, of course, the CEO of Insight Discovery, Nigel Sillitoe, who joins us live in the studio. Morning to you, Nigel.
Good morning, Tom.
A bit of background on the survey itself. Why do you do it?
We want to ensure that the professions that come out badly actually take note and try and improve their reputation. So there is some method behind this madness. And I should say, I'm just the messenger. So, don't beat me up too much if you're listening. And, every profession has some bad eggs. So if I do mention your profession, don't take it too personally. But obviously, look at ways of maybe improving the reputation for next year. This is our fifth.
Who are the most infuriating and unreliable for 2023?
Well, it may come as no great surprise that for the third year running, it's recruitment companies, followed by telemarketers and then credit card issuers. And this is what I find particularly interesting. This year, social media influencers make an entry at fourth, equal to estate agents who always appear fourth.
So that's your top three, or your top four, I should mention there. But let's just pick on the recruiters. Come on, let's pick on the recruiters again if we can. Let's see if we can't book a few more throughout this week. Why are recruiters traditionally, historically, at the top of this list?
Okay, one thing we did change, which I must make clear, is that some recruiters contacted me last time and said, look, it's a bit unfair. I'm an executive search firm. I'm running a practice in DIFC. We shouldn't be lumped together with recruitment companies. So this year, we actually split it between recruitment companies, executive search, and internal recruiters or talent recruiters. And the executive search don't come out badly at all, as you might expect. Internal recruiters were ranked sixth. But I think with recruitment companies, given that this economy is booming and so many companies are moving here, it's a shame that they have such a bad reputation, because this is the time you need a good recruitment company, particularly if you are moving from India, UK or wherever. And I think it's partly because a lot of them are paid on a commission-only basis, which is the same for estate agents, and there is a strong correlation between the way you're paid and maybe the reputation of the sector you're working in.
They've topped the list for the last 3 years in a row. As you mentioned, this is your fifth survey as well. Estate agents. Now, one would think, given the buoyancy in the real estate market at the moment, that might be an area that we see a change of faith. But according to your latest research, not.
Yeah, they're always consistent, number four. And I think it's because people get fed up with the commissions that are paid, particularly when you come to purchase a house. I mean, in the UK and other developed markets, you pay a fraction of what you would here to either rent or to buy a property. And if you've come from, let's say, the UK, you're going to think, hold on, I've just bought a piece of property on the Palm, and I'm paying this estate agent, 250,000 dirhams or maybe 500,000 dirhams, where it'd be a fraction of that in the UK.
When you set out on this journey, the worst reputation survey 5 years ago, I don't know if social media influencers even had a category, did they?
No, they didn't. We added it this year, and it was quite shocking that they appeared fourth. But maybe it proves that they're being found out, because often they're not actually disclosing that they're promoting a product, let's say a crypto coin, with payments. So the good news is that let's say financial influencers, which are part of social media influencers, are actually now having to be more careful about what they say on social media. Places like Australia can put you in jail for up to 5 years if you say something misleading. India's introducing regulation for finfluencers, and lots of other countries already have it, like China and Singapore. And it'd be quite nice if maybe the UAE also introduced a code of conduct or force people to actually register if they're a finfluencer, because I think they're sometimes the worst culprits, because they're giving advice. They see themselves as proclaimed experts on, let's say, life insurance or crypto or equities, but they don't have the qualifications, but they can spout whatever they want on social media platforms. So that's one thing that has to change. And I wouldn't be surprised if next year maybe social media influencers are even higher up the rankings unless there are changes.
What about the actual financial advisors out there, those that have got the pieces of paper that they should?
Yeah. They actually don't come out too badly. They're ranked 7th, equal with bank advisors. So there's a slight improvement for independent financial advisors. And I think if we did a study, which I'm contemplating on who's got the best reputation, the professions that are regulated would probably come out well. Yeah, but unfortunately, a lot of recruitment companies, estate agents, have very light touch regulation. So there is definitely, again, that correlation.
We live in a very cosmopolitan part of the world. Obviously, nationalities from all corners of the globe residing and working here. Who's most dissatisfied with recruiters who are top of the list at the moment?
Sure, expats. And if you look at the age groups, it's those who are between 25 and 45, which isn't surprising because that's the group that are probably looking to move or looking for a new job. And if you look at telemarketers, the most dissatisfied were the youngsters aged between 18 and 25. And I sense that's probably because when they get a call, they're thinking, hold on, why am I getting this call? Why can't they just use digital marketing to actually approach me?
Why? I mean, as I mentioned, Nigel, you and your team have been doing this for the last 5 years. Have we seen trends develop over those 5 years?
It's pretty consistent. So recruiters the last 3 years, I think 4 years ago, they were second worst. Credit card issuers were the worst 4 years ago. But the top three never really change. It's always recruitment companies, credit card issuers and telemarketers.
So that's all good. And we get this, and I'm sure you get some angry phone calls and some messages going, Nigel, what are you trying to do to us, etc. I mean, let's look at what you can do with these findings as well. What does this teach these industries?
I think if you're a recruitment company, and again, this is very different to executive search or internal, you need to find ways of maybe portraying your business in a different light to other recruitment companies so you shine. And I think a lot of recruitment companies are now hopefully using more tech to keep their candidates in touch, because I think the biggest issue, and you might expect me to say this when I'm in PR, is the communication. The lousy communicators, this is a big general statement, with their candidates. They don't keep them posted step by step about the process.
Nigel, it makes for some really fascinating insights as well. Insight by name, insight by nature. Nigel is, of course, the CEO of Insight Discovery, and they have published the 2023 Worst Reputation Survey.